Can I write my extended essay based on an example?
Okay, so you can use old essays and example essays to help you understand how to write and structure an extended essay in your subject and what makes a good one. But you cannot use the structure and the content of an example essay. Like you take the content and structure and you change it around a little bit to add your own information. That would be plagiarism. So no, you can't take it that far.
Be able to improve my grade in Crit C on my extended essay, the critical thinking part.
Well, you want to make sure that you are clear on what Criterion C is asking and what the highest mark band expects. And that is something to ask your supervisor, make sure that your supervisor explains it to you. Then my advice to you would be, first of all, to know your topic. Be really clear on what you're researching, and also the sooner that you can narrow it down, the better, because often students start the extended essay with a really broad idea of what they want to talk about. Many people get really excited about the topic and they're like, oh, I want to do this and I want to do that and I want to answer all these questions. But the sooner that you narrow it down, the better your knowledge of your topic will be. And as soon as you're able to filter out all the stuff that's not directly relevant to your RQ, the better. And that then is going to feed into your Criterion C grade.
GPT allowed in my EE? If so, how would I use ChatGPT to help me?
Okay, short answer is yes. The IB haven't banned ChatGPT because they understand that it's innovation and it's an important technology. So the caveat is you're not allowed to use it to help you write any part of your extended essay because that would be considered plagiarism. So you can use it to help you get better informed about your topic. But there's a very high chance that if you try to use it to write your essay for you, your school will find out, and that is not going to be great for you. So don't use it to cheat, but you can use it to help you.
How would you say IB differs from other high school programs?
I've been involved with the IB program, I think, for a decade or more now. And I find this to be a fantastic curriculum because it definitely is very, very different from the usual ones that, that are more leaning towards rote learning or something like that. So here, children are pushed to think, and they are, it kind of pushes you to think beyond the text, develop your critical thinking skills, you to think or get insights. So it's quite challenging, but then it really brings out the best in the students.
Would you think 38 is a good IB grade?
Okay, again, it depends on the kind of university that you are looking at, because there are certain entry level requirements that universities do propose. So I think 38 is a decent score, definitely. But again, depends on which universities you are applying for. So if it is fulfilling, a certain university's entry requirement, then I think it is a good score, a decent one.
What happen if my 11th and 12th standard result doesn't match?
Okay, so there's always some variation that is expected from your grades in 11th and 12th. So if you have made an improvement, then it's a positive thing to do. It's a positive indicator that you are doing well, but it need not be so always. There may be some extenuating circumstances sometimes. So, and that may bring your grades down. So teachers are usually careful when they give the predicted grades. So if a child has not done well, but has been consistently good always, so they do, give it a thought before they give the predicted grade. So they'll definitely not give something that will discourage him or bring him down.
What's the benefit of focusing on CAS? How does doing CAS help me get into the university of my dream?
Okay, CAS is one of the core components of the diploma program. It's not, graded, but very much a mandatory component for you to complete certain hours if you are looking at getting a diploma. Now, how CAS per se cannot get you or guarantee admission for you in any university, because your academics definitely matter. But then yes, if you are looking at, say, US universities especially, so universities tend to look at the profile of the student, okay, from all angles. How you have been productively engaged in, say, some kind of community service or things like that. So that's where your CAS component, is very important, because students, how actively and how productively they have been engaged over that 18-month course is important. And that definitely again gives them, something of hands-on experience, building their personality, in always something, getting them something that goes beyond the textbooks.
Do you think a bilingual certificate will help you further in university applications?
I think it does, because it's a valuable skill set that you have, that you are showing language proficiency in more than one languages. That means you are effectively communicating across cultures and you become a more competitive student. But that need not be the sole determining factor for universities to select you. Okay, but it definitely has you. It does give you an edge.
How hard is math and IBDP?
Actually, it depends on multiple factors. One thing could be the student's ability, because not every student is equal. So if you are able to understand, if you are able to kind of express yourself, so based on that, the difficulty level can be judged. In one way, it ranges quite a lot. Like, for example, SLAI is the simplest one which is considered. So it's pretty easy. Like, if you understand the basic concept, you can go ahead. SLAA is another one which is also simple. And it also, like, if you understand the basic things, if you know how to calculate, how to kind of solve the equations, it's pretty good. In case of HL topics, it becomes complex, especially HLAA. That is the one which is really complicated, where you need a much more deeper understanding and good solving skills. So without good solving skills, it will be really, really difficult. So then it depends on the student, his ability to understand, his ability to kind of solve and answer problems.
Yep. How should I effectively study for math and science classes in IBDP?
So for maths and science courses, it's always best to start the course or start the program early on and do the questions or start solving the problems as if you are not going to come back to them again. Okay, like for example, just to give you an idea, if you are learning about, let's say, trigonometry in mathematics, so you should really do it well as if you are kind of doing it for the final examination. And along with it, the best method could be solve past papers from the topic. So there are a bunch of websites which are giving such questions based on the difficulty level. So you should try to target the medium to hard level problems so that the exam looks easier to you. And it all comes with practice. Also, if I have to comment about, let's say, physics, if you are learning about motion or friction, so you really have to go in depth. Okay, and in physics, it's more about understanding the problem than just solving, because maths is more of solving. Physics is more of kind of understanding and solving, realizing what is there, like kind of realizing how the problem is working and how to solve or what's happening in reality, because it's much more associated. When I talk about chemistry, it's very different, because some parts are fixed, associated, but when you come to IBDP, the higher level courses, there you really need to kind of know the percentage. Like, okay, some reactions give 50% result. Then if you change the temperature and pressure conditions, things change. So there you require a much more deeper understanding of the subject. Other than that, chemistry is more about learning, understanding the tiny things, how the molecules and atoms react to each other, what happens in the background. So that explains a lot.